Hey guys, Spirit of the Lie here. I was just given some early access to the upcoming Return of Rome DLC, and in this video we'll go through some of the questions that we've all had up to this point, as well as take a look at the official Romans coming to AoE2. I'll let you come to your own conclusion, but to me they look very strong. But keep in mind they may also get some changes down the road, and absolutely nothing here is final. Now, over the last week or so, it was a little up in the air if they were going to be for ranked or not. But as of today, it's been confirmed that they will be playable in ranked, despite my early skepticism about that. Before we look at the Romans though, just a couple of things off the bat. Notice on the left, I have both AoE2 and Return of Rome. This is how they're doing the two-game system, where you can basically switch into AoE1 while playing AoE2. If we do a quick tour, you can see it uses all of the same menus, etc. And if we actually jump into a game, it's really a hybrid, where all the resources and the look of the game are very AoE2, but you can do things like garrison in your town center, though it doesn't shoot arrows. I don't want to get too sidetracked looking into this now, and I'll probably do a separate review of this when I get a chance to try it out a bit more. Also, despite Steam initially saying a couple of weeks ago it was going to be a 30GB DLC, it only ended up being about 3.5GB, which I was very glad to see. It looks like at some point it should be Capture compatible as well, and already has a multiplayer lobby, so it's a fully functioning AoE1 overhaul existing inside of AoE2. The last thing I'll say about it now is that so far it really does feel much more AoE2 player friendly than the first definitive edition did. Let's jump back to AoE2 though, and take a look at the Romans. First off, for their economy, their villagers work 5% faster. That's everything from gathering sheep, wood, building, repairing. It goes without saying, this is great for rushing and also gives you some nice population efficiency in the late game, and is basically like having at least 5 extra villagers. Right away, this seems like a good civilization simply because it checks the box on having a good economy bonus. Next, their infantry get double the effect of blacksmith armor upgrades. They are missing the last armor upgrade, so it's not as crazy as it sounds, but that still means you end up with the same pierce armor as usual and one more melee armor on your swordsmen and pikes, while not having to pay for the last upgrade at all. Having +2/+2 on your feudal men-at-arms seems really good, and +4/+4 on longswords in Castle Age, even without supplies, could make them pretty dangerous. Synergizing with this bonus, the two-handed swordsman and champion are replaced with the legionary in Imperial, which has about the same upgrade price as champion, and with more HP and armor and one less attack. While they don't start with it, you can also add a charge attack on top of that, like the Custilier, through the unique tech Committed Tenses, doing 5 extra damage on their first hit, followed by a cooldown phase. And another side effect of that tech is that it cuts down on the training time of several units. Again, the Legionary is a swordsman line replacement instead of the two-handed swordsman and champion, so they're made at the barracks. Personally, the part that surprised me the most is this unique tech affects their knight line as well, as faster trained cavaliers with even a small charge attack seem pretty decent, and I thought they would shy away from Romans featuring knights for historical reasons. I get the sense they're just going for a fun civ that's loosely based on the Western Roman Empire though, which is fair enough. This is also a good time to introduce their Castle Age unique unit, the Centurion. They have pretty impressive stats, both in terms of HP, armor, and attack, basically giving you a paladin, though at a slightly higher cost. Part of that higher cost is because they have an aura effect, increasing the movement and attack speed of the swordsman line, obviously including legionaries. The impact looks pretty subtle, but seems to work up to 10 tiles away, so the range is at least impressive, and they just have to be roughly close together. He doesn't have to be yelling motivational phrases right into the legionary's ear. I take it this is meant to be their core army composition, though faster villagers has to be good for archers and knights as well, which of course Romans have access to. That said, you're not really pushed toward the crossbow, as you're missing both bracer and arbalester in Imperial Age. So with a pretty unimpressive archery range, where is their ranged support supposed to come from then? Well, it turns out they're pushing really hard here on scorpions. First, their scorpions cost 60% less gold and benefit from ballistics. This is a passive bonus and means their scorpions are just 30 gold each, and having ballistics also means they can track moving targets. Adding onto that, they also have a team bonus, where the scorpion line's minimum range is reduced, meaning melee units have to get that much closer to be safe. Third, the Castle Age unique tech Ballistas, not to be confused with ballistics, lets your scorpions fire 33% faster. That means you have majorly discounted, faster firing, more accurate scorpions that are harder to exploit by having less minimum range. I still think onagers will do just fine against them, but imagine this with a Khmer ally giving them +1 range as well. Of course, they also get siege engineers, so Romans are easily one of the civs most able to go mass Scorpion now without a doubt. So that's the Romans on land maps, where I think you'll find they have a flexible opening, a good swordsman line with double the usual armor through the mid-game, leading into their quickly made legionaries, knights, and centurions. All this with some scorpions in support as well, so there's lots of fun things to play with. Now let's talk about what they have on water maps. It turns out they have 2 bonuses for the galley line. The first is +1 attack, which means they'll take out other galleys in 12 instead of 14 shots. And second, their war galleys gain extra armor, increasing again with galleon, giving you some really tanky but also hard-hitting ships on water. Remember, you're also collecting resources a little faster in general as well, so it should get out to a very strong start. That already sounds pretty good, but another added benefit is that the ballistas tech at the castle, in addition to scorpions, also gives the galley line 33% faster firing, making them even better. If anything on paper sounds broken with this civ, I would say it's their galleons, but remember they don't have bracer, so they are lacking a bit of range. One other interesting thing about the Romans on water is they have a unique variation of the cannon galleon called the droman. Its cost and stats are slightly different, but for all intents and purposes, it's just giving cannon galleon to the Romans without actually giving them cannons, which I'm glad is a line they didn't cross. So that's a survey of their bonuses and unique techs. They group pretty nicely into naval, scorpion, and infantry, with just the general buff to their economy thrown on top to make sure everything runs a little more smoothly. At this point, rather than leave you hanging, I thought it might be fun to try a quick deathmatch against the AI and show off a bit of their army composition in action. So let's check them out. Alright, here we go. I got my army ready and he's coming for me. Oh, this is going to be amazing. I gave myself a Chimera ally so I can get the extra range. Yeah, cheating, whatever. Just trying to test him out. Okay, let's see how you guys do. I mean, I'm loving the scorpions here against his unit choice. Okay, we gotta get some of our generals in here. Let's help our boys out. I mean, they're just melting, but I think that's largely the scorpions. They're just destroying them. Let's see, because these guys got 9 melee armor. So my legions aren't doing that much damage to them here, I think. All right, let's get more of our more legions. Let's get more of our general guys. I mean, I do worry about onagers. That's one thing that could make me a little sad here. Okay, no, let's go. No eco, that's fine. We're just gonna go all in, one big push. All right, forward. Should probably make some trebuchets, hey? I think it went from score bottom to score top, just taking a couple of good fights here. Okay, now let's just take out the town center, that's all good. Yeah, it does occur to me I should probably have brought more trebuchets or something. Though, I guess legionaries should be not too bad against buildings. I mean, infantry's generally pretty good. I'm out of gold at this point. We'll just have to coast with what we got. It's all good. Oh, no. Ugh. That's the problem. Is I think onagers kind of kill this whole army composition I got going on. Which is probably why you have decent cavalry as well. Now that I think about it. I guess we'll just go kill his trade. Because these centurions, like, that's beefy, man. 15 attack, and you even get the little charge attack in there as well. Yeah, okay, maybe we should have actually made an economy. Oh, everybody up there. Honestly, I'm just stoked we have another unit that has capes. There's not enough of that. Yeah, I do think Romans could be in a little bit of trouble with our trash units. I think our halberdiers are good, but our skirmishers are not good, and we don't have Hussar. There's kind of all sorts of things here. Not necessarily happy with the trash situation. All right, I think this guy's dead. Oh, hey, my ally even came back on his side. Nice. Well, let's get rid of him. You know, I had to put him down. I gotta fight this guy myself here. It's a good looking unit. I don't know, it's fun. It seems a little weird to have them going up against, what was this guy, Byzantines? Okay, well that one makes sense. But going up against something like Spanish, it's gonna look a little weird. But I'm here for it, man. Well, I like him. I think it looks good. You've got some nice synergy happening with a couple of different things. I just think the legions look great. And I love any excuse to play with scorpions, frankly. It's just a very difficult unit to make work a lot of the time. And they're so cheap. So this was just a quick overview of the DLC, and I expect to play around with this, and we'll be making other videos over the next week leading up to the official release on May 16th. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.